any questions you have in our chat box. At the end of the presentation, we have dedicated time to Q&A. Of course, once we're going to have this session, you also can raise a hand and simply ask a question directly to us. And nevertheless, we will try to answer those questions in the chat box during the webinar that we can't, and then otherwise we will be elaborating on them at the end of this session. So without further ado, I suggest we really start and kick off. So Esther, next slide, please. So this is what we prepared for you today. It's a very first webinar. They're going to be the second one in upcoming weeks. So for today, we just want to give you an overview. What is exactly Next Generation Internet, and particularly NGI Explorers program? What is the timeline? What you can expect and when? And what is our targets? We will give you some snapshot on who we have funded already in our past open calls, so you will have certain certain possibility to see if this is something fitting for you. Then when my colleague's gonna give you a presentation, an answer to your probably most required question: am I eligible to this call? So you will learn all this and then other must-know information. Further, I will give you very quickly to a quick guideline how to really apply, how to navigate on the F6S platform. And at the end, we will have a brief information about who are our United States partner, what they expect from you, and what they have to offer. And as mentioned, there will be this Q&A session at the end. Next one, please. So this is our speakers for today. So it is my pleasure. My name is Iva Stefanik. I am your host and project coordinator. I am accompanied today with my colleagues from Zabala Innovation, that is call management team, Esther Murillo and Pablo Trueba, and our excellent communication manager, Julia Pastor, also responsible for our United States network. Next, please. So as you could see, who is behind the NGI Explorers? These are three companies represented by F6S Australia and Zabala Innovation. So just very briefly about us. So F6S is the worldwide largest platform for startups and SME. We basically connect with funders and connect you with the certain opportunities. We also scout, so some of you may be here because we actually scouted you throughout our program. Basically, we deliver more than 2 billion euro every year to startup and SMEs through certain opportunities and accelerator programs. So we definitely encourage you to register, even if this call will turn out not to be suitable for you. And of course, we have our heart of the program, in the sense our connection to the United States. This is Australia and their marketing services for European high technology. They have high experience in collaborating with the United States, and we are very happy to have them on the board. And last but not least, our expert Spain-based entity, high expertise in the research development, technology, managing innovation, and technology transfer. And we are very, very happy and pleased to have them in our project. So that's we. You have certain information about us, and then now we will introduce you. So what is this NGI Explorers program? Next one, please. So we need to start from the start to give you an overview. What is actually the Next Generation Internet? So it is a European Commission initiative with an aim to shape the development and evolution of the Internet into so-called Internet of Humans. What does it mean in practice? It is a budget, a certain agenda that was developed by the European Commission with the aim to reshape the future Internet. The budget, as you can see, is not a small budget. Just for the period 2018 and 2020, it was nearly 250 million euro. And then this program is going to be expanded until 2027 already. So the budget will be maybe it's already announced, but let me believe me, it's a big or probably even bigger one. So on the right side, you can see certain domains recognized as the one that's gonna shape the future of internet in the next 15 years. That is what is believed by the European Commission, and this is also a certain scope of our interest in our project. So we are interested in certain project proposals that are covering at least one of those domains that you can see: blockchain, big data, IoT, 5G, cybersecurity, or cloud edge computing. But what actually does it mean, Internet of Humans, in practice? So as you can see, the European Commission defines it as a certain concept, reshaping the internet in such a way that it trusts and respects it actually creates certain respect to the fundamental values such as privacy, trust, diversity. They are interested in funding the project that develop certain advanced technologies, but at the same time are aware, provide and respect certain social innovations. So trying to bring in ideas that meet social needs, create social relationship, and form the new collaboration. At the end of the day, it's they're also inclusive and sustainable, mainly for, of course, for us, for the world, but we are talking obviously here about the fund from the European Union. So to make the Europe greater in that sense. So we are not alone, and NGI Explorers is only one out of many, many projects from the Next Generation Internet initiative. So in the case our program would not be feasible for you, which we hope that won't be the case, we definitely encourage you to really check the Next Generation Internet website, which is simply ngi.eu, and there you're gonna find a lot of other open course opportunities, so don't miss it. But for now, stay with us, because we're now gonna show you what we have for you. So our project is basically understood as a fellowship program. So we basically fund a certain technology expedition to the United States. And yes, we know we are definitely affected by the current COVID-19 situation and pandemic, but you're gonna hear in the next presentation how we are managing this risk and what is possible. It's still possible that you can have some gains from our project at this point. So just a snapshot of us. So we have in total nearly €1 million to give to the project, that is to your potential project that when you're going to be applying to us. Our aim is to fund at least up to 50 projects. We have funded already roughly 30, almost 30 projects. And now normally the project period was 3 years. We started in 2019. We're going to be finishing 2021. And this is, as I mentioned, our last open call. And our general goals of our project, we definitely want to foster the EU exchange in the domain of the next generation internet. We want to stimulate and explore new NGI products and services over transatlantic cooperation, and definitely build a cooperative and vibrant ecosystem. So next slide, please. So what is our timeline and what is our target? Next, please. So the timeline, we opened the call in December, and the call will be closed in upcoming months, exactly 18th of February. Then we're gonna continue with the evaluation and selection. Details will be provided by my colleague Esther. Just to give you the idea, this process is gonna take time until February. There will be certain stages, and if you're gonna pass the stage of remote evaluation, and assuming that your application is eligible, then you need to hear exactly Esther's presentation to understand this criteria. You will be invited for an interview. We can approximately think it's going to be end of March or more during April. And then what's going to happen if you selected and you meet the requirements of the NGI consortium and the United States. A selection, we're gonna be contracting in May 2021, and then right after you're gonna be invited to certain a bootcamp immersion program. If situation in the world changes for the better, this meeting normally takes place physically. It's up to 3 days. We invite you. and you take part in a certain bootcamp of certain classes, but we're gonna talking about more about this in the next webinar. And then you are ready by June to start your expedition. That's going to be between 3 or 5 months. And the final day to accomplish this is October 21. And we're going to be assuming it is accomplished as a success once you're going to perform all the tasks and deliver, submit all deliverables and final report. And this you need to indicate in your application form what's going to be your task and deliverables. And that's it. And at the end, you're going to be attending so-called NGI Oscars, so a one-day, half-day event to select the best explorers. Next, please. So who we are looking for? So we actually, our program and project is open for somehow two type of profiles. So on the one hand, you can see academics, strict research oriented. We were definitely very interested in researchers that can provide certain advanced technologies development, new standards. But on the other side, we are also definitely open for innovators that we understand more, like the representatives of startups or SMEs that are definitely much more interested to apply directly the technology into the market or the business models. And we will be also very happy to support you in it. Of course, one of the best candidates, a mix of these two. But as I said, we are definitely searching for those two type of profiles. Next, please. So in a nutshell, our offer, we will be giving you access to certain technology challenges in case you don't have your idea of your own project yet, what you would like to develop. I'm gonna touch upon this in my next presentation in a few minutes. Then we, of course, giving you access to our already United States network. They signed already with a certain agreement, so they're happy to host you if that will be available. If not, they will be happy to make with you a remote collaboration, which Esther is gonna give you a bit more information about this. Then we, as mentioned, we will be supporting your technology transfer also in collaboration with other projects that has specific fund for this to support you with certain business and technical mentorship and expertise. And of course, we're gonna be funding the whole experience in the United States. So next one, please. Yeah, and now just a very quick snapshot who are actually those people that we funded up to now. So this is certain statistic, as you can see, 28 projects, participants, but in that sense, the participants that are developing the projects were funded. Out of this, we have 13 researchers and 15 innovators, mostly represented by the startups. They were from 15 countries, you can see the list. So we are obviously open for the EU and H2020, but Esther is gonna give you very specific information about this. In terms of domains, very diverse, as you can see, from starting from health, smart cities, tourism, e-learning, etc., etc. And so we are open for are not specified for one vertical. We are really happy to learn your idea. This is the key for us. And as I mentioned, the focus areas identified by the European Commission, we covered almost all of them. So this is the statistics. And if you are selected, if you are working with us, next, please. We will be happy to promote you on our website. Also, for your own information, you can go directly to our website and check certain bios and profiles of those people that were funded. You can click and you're gonna see our explorers from OpenCall 1 and OpenCall 2. There's also links to the interviews with them on the YouTube. Next one, please. And then we will be very happy to promote you with certain also articles. Next, please. On our platforms and bigger platforms like the whole European Commission Next Generation Internet platform with your great project accomplished. So yeah, we are looking forward to have you in our program. So please apply. Next one, please. I believe this is Esther, all from me. So I guess you can take over from now.
Pablo, you can.
Oh, Pablo, yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was muted. Sorry. Hello, my name is Pablo. Really happy to have all of you here. And yeah, I'm going to explain the eligibility and must know and how you can apply. Next one, please. Okay, so the program actually supports two different type of candidate profiles. The first one, as you can see, is researchers. They have to hold a master's degree or higher, and they should be employed in a third level education institute, research infrastructure, and nonprofit organizations, foundations, and public research centers. The other candidate profile that we support is in our innovators. These are internet technologies representing high-tech startups, micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises, the so-called SMEs, mid-caps working on internet or and other related technologies. Also, it is important to remember that the program supports individuals, not teams. Therefore, applications shall be filled by the candidate himself, who aims to become part of the program. So applications from individuals referring to third people performing the expedition will be directly discarded. Candidates must be employees of any of the following entities, such as universities, research centers, mid-caps, SMEs, and startups. And these entities must be established in any of these countries, such as member state, overseas countries listed below, and the H2020 associated countries. If you click on the green label, you will have the list of those associated countries. Okay, now what's in it for you? What type of application are there? There are actually three options. First one is the open ideas, in which you should propose a disrupted idea based on your line of research, product, or service. You should identify and select which US node you prefer, taking into consideration common priorities, which are the US node should be ready for the open ideas and should match the applicant's profile, a researcher or an innovator, and it should also match the focus area of your project. The second option is challenge. You will have to apply to one of the challenges designed by our US nodes. These US nodes will have defined several challenges addressing a specific focus area. And the last option is pair teams, in which the applicants may submit a proposal to advance their idea, product, or services, along with a specific US partnering organization, as long as they fall under one of the or several focus areas of the ones mentioned by my colleague Iwa before. Next one, please. Okay, what happens after submission? This is for my colleague Esther, so thanks.
Yeah. So once you submit your proposal and the goal deadline reaches, we will perform this evaluation process, which follows this four-step structure. We have the eligibility check, we have the expert review phase, online interviews phase, and finally the communication of the results. So as a first step, we will perform an eligibility check, which will be carried out to discard the non-eligible proposals. Eligibility check in the sense of, as we just mentioned before, about the profile of the candidate following within this research and innovation profiles, in the sense of the legal entity where the candidate is working in, and so. So then after the eligibility check, the external experts will review your proposals, scoring them based on three criteria. First is the background and know-how, which falls within the description of your expertise and skills. Second is the excellence, which refers to the technical quality of the idea that you are submitting and the implementation. And third is the impact, which is the ambition of your idea. What is your value proposition? Which are your expected outcomes? So every proposal will be assessed by two external evaluators from two different profiles. One evaluator will have a more technical profile. Second evaluator will have more business profile. So we are requesting a minimum score of 3 for each criterion, while each criterion can be scored from 0 to 5. So minimum score of 3 for each of the 3 criteria that I just mentioned will be required, and 9 for the overall score. So those this will be the threshold. So we are expecting after the external evaluation up to 40 applicants to be shortlisted for the online interviews, which is the next step. So shortlisted candidates will be then interviewed to an online meeting with the corresponding US node they are applying to, and also with us, with the NGI Explorers Consortium, with the idea to further analyze your profile and your fit within the selected US node. So following the interview results, we will compile the 2 phases results, the expert review phase and the online interview phase. And around 20 or 30 applicants will be invited then to sign the contract with the NGI Explorers. As a final step, all these compiled results will be provided to you. So all the applicants will receive an outcome of the evaluation, either if this is an acceptance or a rejection result, together with an ESR, which is known as evaluation summary report, with the results of all this evaluation phase. Then, what about the payments? So NGI Explorers funds travel, will fund the travel and your subsistence cost. In this case, with the COVID pandemic and the certain circumstances related to this, the grant eligibility might be expanded out of the travel and subsistence cost, but this will be analyzed and checked on a case-by-case situation. So funding of the NGI Explorers is released under a lump sum scheme. So there is a monthly rate for this third open call, which has been set as 5,115 euros, which means that the sailings for funding for the 3 months expedition case is the one that you can see here in the slides, 15,345 euros. And in the case of the 5-month expedition, it's up to 25,575 euros. Concerning the payment schedule, so payment will be released in different steps through your expedition. Very first step is very first payment will be 20% of the fund will be released once you have signed the subgranting funding agreement and provided all the required documentation for the contracting, and you have also attended the immersion bootcamp, and you have the valid visa issued for the United States. Then second payment will be disclosed after the end of your expedition. This will consist on the 65% of your fund, and the very final 15% will be released at the end of the NGI Explorers Oscars. So, which are the reference documents that you have to keep in mind? First, of course, you have the guidelines for applicants. This is the ABC, let's say, of the whole open call. So please read these guidelines carefully and go through all these sections to understand carefully how it works, which are all the steps and criteria. Then, as we will just explain now in the next slides, submission will happen online. Nevertheless, you can also find in our submission kit a reference template of this online submission form. in case you want to have like a previous check of this. Then before submitting the proposal, applicants shall confirm that have read and agree with the call conditions. So for this, you will find a checkbox at the end of the online form. But you can also check what is this declaration of owners refers to here in this specific separate document. This is mainly related to, as I mentioned, that you agree with the conditions defined in the call document. Then one important document, in the case that you are applying to per teams option and only for per teams, you will be requested to provide a signed statement of commitment from the US node partner that you are coming with. This statement of commitment subscribes their willingness to participate and as a hosting organization of the program. The statement of commitment refers also to a memorandum of understanding, which is not needed at this stage to provide but you can have a look at this. You have this also as references because this mode will be requested to be signed only for those that are finally selected as explorers and before the, during the contracting phase. All these 4 documents you can find in our website, the submission kits, so you can download them and have a look at it. Last but not least, we have offered in the website dedicated support channel, let's say, which is dedicated support section, which is this FAQ. So please don't hesitate also to check this through our website to find all the questions and more frequent questions and answers concerning the call. So just not to forget other important considerations to keep in mind. I give back the floor to my colleague Pablo to continue on this.
Thanks, Esther. Okay, so important things, visa requirements and insurance. For the visa requirements, candidates must be valid. They should have an EU OCT or H2020 passport of the associated countries. If your passport of the US, of the European Union has valid residence permission, this is an exemption. Exemptions will apply to these passports. Explorers are also required to obtain a visa for their stay in the US. We recommend that you get the J1 visa. Any other type should be consulted with the US node. Also, it is the explorer's your responsibility to ensure that all of these authorizations required are in order before the expeditions takes place. For the insurance, you will be responsible to ensure that the health insurance coverage meets the regulatory requirements in the US. If you see, with willful failure from the explorer to maintain active insurance coverage is grounds for termination of the programs. Next one, please. Okay, what about COVID-19? What about this pandemic we're living? Next one. Okay, so the expeditions are going to be 3 or 5 months fellowships in the US exchange node. But there is an alternative option in the event that the pandemic doesn't allow to travel to the US under safe conditions by June 2021. First option would be full remote expedition in Europe. You will still have to do the full work of your work plan, but as you are doing it in a remote way, you will be paid up to 50% of the full expedition in the US monthly rate. The other option is a mix between in-person in the US and remote expedition in Europe. For this, you will be paid in a weekly rate. The weeks that you are in Europe, you will be paid up to 50%, and the weeks that you are in US, you will be paid the full expedition monthly rate. Okay, and now I give back the word to my colleagues.
Thank you, Pablo. Okay, I will take over from here. So if you're gonna go directly to the next slide, I will give you a certain, step-by-step guide. I said very quickly though, what you can expect to provide, to see on the F6S platform, what type of question, how you should really navigate with them. It's just here, of course, a reminder where you can find all the information that Esther and Pablo are referring to. You need to really go to our website that you can see now on the screen. And if you're gonna be applying to the call, you need to go directly to the F6S platform. This is the only mean and only reference point when you can apply to the call. So if we can go directly to the next slide. Thank you, Esther. So you will be once you're gonna enter the platform, you need to just register, and then there are gonna be sections of questions that you're gonna be asked. And the first one that we sometimes see is confused for our applicants is you will be asked what type of participation you are applying to, and it's very important to mention you can select only one, so you cannot apply. I hope you can still hear me. I got the communication, my internet is unstable, so some comments you can hear me. You mentioned you can select only one option out of those three. So you can apply either to the open ideas or to challenges or to per team. You cannot apply to open ideas and challenges or any other mix of between those three. No, you need to select only one. Next one, please. So yeah, if you're gonna, now we are making scenario, you selected open idea. So what you need to do, if you select open idea, that means we assume you have certain project in mind already that you want to run and use our program to do this, or a certain advanced certain research or certain product development within your startup. For example, then you need to go to our website and you need to take a look on our United States organization that are in our program. At the moment, we have 35. You have to read carefully which one is of your interest. And as was mentioned by Esther and Pablo, very important information you need to check if this organization is open for you as a researchers or innovator profile. Also the certain domain. Everything is well explained and showed in every United States profile on our website. So this information is very straightforward to see. In the open idea, you can just one sentence to mention, we are asking you, giving you the opportunity to select up to 3 United States organizations, somehow securing your success, in the sense if the first United States wouldn't agree to collaborate with you, wouldn't be a match, or too many people applied, and then the best score decide who's gonna be collaborating with the United States, you have a second and third chance. So just state this according to your preference. So select, we suggest 3 different United States, of course. Then the second scenario, you selected option of participation as challenges. That means you can select only one challenge. You are selecting one challenge up to 35 at the moment that are available on our website. Those codes refer to certain, description that are provided on our website. And again, you need to really see if your profile matches with the requirements of the United States challenge. This idea is for those that don't have yet their own idea. They have certain skills they would like to, contribute to certain projects that mostly are already run and started by the United States, and are searching for contributors in majority of the cases. So this is the second scenario, and the last scenario, the third paired team. It means that if it was not clear enough, it means that you can bring any new United States partner that you collaborate with or you want to collaborate with. So it's outside of our network, and you are, you making the kind of commitment with them. And you are bringing what we need at the application stage is you need to, of course, upload the document that Esther mentioned and the template. You can know where to find it already. And you simply need to provide us with the administrative data of this United States partner. And important, you can bring only one United States partner for this per team. So this is, I think, a straightforward. and the question we're going to be answering in the Q&A. And here you can just see where you can find those profiles. So on our website, that's how the profile of every United States look like. And here you can clearly see it's ready for open ideas, for example, on both profiles. Some of them are only open for researchers or for innovators, so pay attention to this. And you can see clearly what domains they are interested to work in. And next, please, here will be an example of simply a list of challenges with the codes. Again, all those descriptions are available on our website, so we definitely encourage you to take a look. Next one, please. So assuming you went through already with this first section, you selected what type of participation you are applying to, there will be the second section, background. So what is needed here, this, of course, the section proposed in the way that evaluators are providing the scores. So they're gonna be scoring you throughout your background, meaning, of course, your know-how, your certain experience and expertise. We need to understand what is your profile. And we obviously will be requesting your CV. Very important, don't upload books there, please. Not also, especially researchers, not upload on the list of your open publication. Really, maximum CV needs to be absolutely max 3 pages. Otherwise, we will not be checking longer CVs. Then once you're gonna go through this section, you're gonna go further to the section, the heart of the application, that is your proposal. You need to simply identify what is, of course, your focus area, how long you're applying for this expedition, and then provide us with the main information, in the sense, what is the value proposition of your proposal, what you want to develop, what are the KPIs, and the most important, your work plan. So how you want to develop this project. And it's very important, you don't describe your overall project, you need to describe your work plan for those 3 or 5 months. Listing certain tasks or deliverables. This is very important because otherwise evaluators mostly exclude the projects or applicants that can describe the total idea that in general they work on. You need to, of course, give us a snapshot, but then focus directly on the work plan you want to achieve within that given period, because one of the requirements in the evaluation is to check if what you want to develop is visible to achieve within 3 or 5 months. So keep that in mind, please. And then we are asking for technical design. It means you don't need to, for example, for the start, doesn't need to be fully like a technical design. We keep it as a certain scheme also to better understand in a visual way what's your project about. And of course, very important, impact. You need to provide certain impact here. A very big tip for you, of course, keep in mind that the impact needs to be strongly referred to what I mentioned in the very beginning, that is, what is the NGI next generation about, what are the objectives. Objectives are about the social innovation, about the advanced technologies, respecting the fundamentals like security, trust, inclusion, diversity, etc. So this is a tip for you that you definitely should think in your proposal. Impact refer to those type of keywords and achievements. And at the end is simply administrative data. Next one, please. So I guess that's it from my side. And Julia, if you can take over, will tell you a little bit more of the United States profiles.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Julia Pastor, and I'm working in the NGI Explorers project as communication manager, and I'm also dealing with the US node. So, so far we were talking about the application forms, the guidelines, the requirements needed from you to be eligible, and so on and so forth. But this program wouldn't be possible without the transatlantic cooperation, without the other part, so the US. We are going to see now in a brief overview the US node that already has committed to be part of the program. So you can have a better understanding who is behind the US in this third open call. So here you can find a list of those organizations who has already committed to be part of the program. You will see that all of them are universities or academic partners, but please keep in mind that in the US, this is not as critical as in Europe, because those organizations, university research centers, have a really entrepreneurial mindset, which means that even if you are a startup or an innovator, it will be always a good opportunity to work with them, because they really work with technology and they are really well connected to the entrepreneurial ecosystem. So they will help you to make those connections and to make connection even if you are a startup. Of course, if you are a researcher, you can always have access to those networks, and this is also a good opportunity. What I would like to stress here is that in our website, under the Apply Now page, you can find more information about each one of those US partners. You can find which of them are interested in to host researchers, innovators, or both profiles, for how long. Keep in mind that this expedition will last 3 or 5 months. So please check whether the US node that you select is open for also for 3 or 5 or both period. So in the website, you can find for each of them a specific profile, where you can find a brief description of the department involved, the key focus area, the key application sectors. So please go to the website and check the details of each of those US nodes. As you can see in the right corner bottom, we mentioned your partner. Next slide, please. Which is this third possibility that Pablo mentioned before, that we are offering you. With these paired teams, you can always propose to work with your partner in the US, which means that if you are already working with a company, an organization, or you are in touch with a university, for example, you can always apply to our call, and you can always proposing your partners. So to be part of the program, and you can propose your own partner based on the previous experience in the past open calls. This has been quite successful. So if you already have a connection in the US, we are open also, to welcome application on the pair teams options. Next slide, please. So now I will give you a little more background about those US partners. So their motivation. Please keep in mind that they are not receiving any money, any funding from us. So why they join? Why they decided to be part of this program? So first of all, they really believe in the opportunity to work with European talent. They are interested in welcoming you and to work side by side with you. Please keep in mind that this program is not just to provide you with funds. Of course, we will, but this is not the most important thing for us. For us, it's really important that you have the possibility to live an experience in the US, to really enjoy this immersion in the US. And also our partners are committed to this, are committed to really make sure that you are experiencing a good immersion and you're spending a good time with them in the US. Also, why they are joined? They are also joined because participating in our program will help them to position themselves as frontrunners in the US. NSF, which is the National Science Foundation, which is the public body in the US playing the same role as the European Commission in providing public funding from research, experimentation, fellowship, etc., etc., is really interesting in NGI. In fact, the European Commission and the NSF are collaborating, and we also moved forward after 2020. So the US partners are interested in getting involved in our program, also to then have some potential, more opportunities to get some potential funds from NSF. And last but not least, they, by participating in our program, they will have access to the European market and technology. So they will have the possibility to have access to universities, companies, startup, research center, etc. And of course, consequently, to strengthen the bilateral collaboration with Europe. Okay, in the no, sorry, Esther. Thank you. In the right part of the slide, there is a brief summary on what the US nodes are providing to you. So first of all, they will support you to obtain the visa. Keep in mind that they won't pay for the visa, but they will support you during the process. They will give you the access to the physical space, to the offices where you will live the experience, and you will be integrated in the daily activities in their team. So you won't be isolated, you will be 100% part of the team. And also they will be your first mentor, and they will provide you with guidance for a better adaptation. For example, they will help you to find an accommodation. They will guide you, to better understand the American mindset and the way of working in the US. Of course, we will support you, but keep in mind that we are in Europe, so they will really be the ones who will guide you and who will walk you through the process and during your expedition. So just to summarize, please go to our website under the Apply Now page and check the description of the US node. But also keep in mind that there is the possibility for you to propose your own partner in the US and apply to the pair team options. So that's all on my side. And we can move to the Q&A, Eva, if you want.
Yes, Julia. So will you moderate the Q&As? You can simply go through the questions and I'll be happy to answer them. You can have access to read them one by one.
Okay, so first,
some of you, maybe you have already answered, but
yes, one I already answered. Let's see. So the first one is from Stuart. So how will you safeguard privacy and protect IP?
This is a very good question, Stuart. So one important information, European Commission, that means also our project representing the European Commission fund, of course, will not have any rights to any IPI developed during this program. We will not provide a protection of the IPI, but what we are providing a certain negotiation process. During contracting, you will be having the time to discuss this situation with the United States partner. Keep in mind that, of course, some of the United States universities, they have their own strong privacy policies, especially regarding IPR. So what we, from the experience from the past, I can tell you that with some of the United States partners, the negotiation were going smoothly. The requirements you always need to, you as explorers, you will need to provide us with an agreement on the IPR, meaning agreement in the sense that either your IPR only in your hands, but need to be signed if an IPR is of course developed within those 3 or 5 months. Need to be signed by the two sides, and that is a part of the contract. But this is handled between you and the United States. Nevertheless, we were providing a template. But of course, you as Explorer or United States are very free to work on this. This is out of our scope. This is the maximum what we can do. From the experience, I can only tell you we never had any big issues about this. Also because it's a relatively short time, but yeah, this would be, I would say, the answer. I don't know, Stuart, if you are still with us, if I answer, or if you still have some additional question to this. Okay, concerning the privacy, I focus only on the second part. I understand concerning the privacy, you can check, first of all, during the application process, F6S platform has been accepted by the European Commission that it meets all the GDPR rights. On the F6S platform, you have a section data privacy. You can contact the F6S through support F6S support@f6s.com, and they will be happy to provide you with any additional information that you cannot find there on the website. Concerning the in the contracting form, once you're gonna be an explorers, given that this is a public fund, your data will be exposed on the website, and this is somehow required from the explorers to agree. So if someone doesn't agree, we will not be able, of course, to fund, given that this is the public fund. So I don't know if I acquired I answer your question, or you still have more questions, Stuart, concerning this. Okay, let's see, but we can meanwhile go to the next question, Julia.
Okay, the second question we already answered it. It was about US node related to energy. So this is that. The third question is from Gal. And the question is, on what stage of the application should we contact with the US Embassy in order to apply for the J1 visa?
So only at the stage that you know that you were selected. So as soon as you're gonna be invited for the contracting phase, normally should happen literally after the contracting phase to be really sure that there were no any issues in the administrative processes, and all the data we required from you was provided. But also given the certain time that it depends on the nationalities, etc., this process can be shorter or longer. In certain embassies, normally we advise that this process should count. We should count for this process around 1 month. United States, mostly they are very fast in providing you documents such as the support letter. It's very often required, and we as the NGI consortium, we are also providing you with a letter confirming that you received the grant, because that's mainly the question. They need to see you have enough funds to stay in the United States. So I would say right before immersion, once your contract is signed, as soon as possible, you should apply for visa.
Okay, so question from Stefano. What about research, innovation, relative tech expenses? If my proposal would require the use of specific material or technology or licenses, who pays for those?
Yes, so answer to Stefano, no. Stefano, our grant has eligibility only for travel and subsidies in case you travel to the United States. In case that would not be possible, then the situation changes, because this is a certain alteration we're gonna be having for the remote options. If you would need to, it's a different stage. You would need to send us an official somehow an official justification why you need certain settings to conduct your proposal remotely, and certain rental. Mostly we are approving certain rental on certain infrastructures, but licenses probably would not be paid. What is that? That is our program about. So we are trying to, for you as explorers, we are sending you to the places with absolutely great laboratories or access to a certain infrastructure. Sometimes already certain United States now they have the certain licenses needed. But of course, a part depends on your project, and you would need to check if we have a suitable partner for you, or if you know that type of partner in the United States that have those type of infrastructure and licenses that you would need, you can try to bring it on, and then you will be receiving this in a scope of their kind of participation, because the United States notes their participation requires you as explorers to provide you with the required somehow the settings to make your project achievable, and this is always clarified during the interview phase very clearly. So you very clearly need to state what resources you would need from the United States, and then they can give you access. Sometimes people need resources of other PhD or certain knowledge expertise, sometimes literally of the certain infrastructure, very specific. We have a lot of projects that needed are related to 5G, of course, to make certain project and testing evaluation of the robotics parts in the 5G. So we understand, but we will not be paid. This you can get it in the scope of collaboration in the United States partner. I hope it was answered. What we have more?
We have one question from Liliana. Can we pair with current US nodes?
I'm not so sure what we mean here by the current. Liliana is still with us, if she can clarify. You can pair, you mean if the current United States is someone that you are already working with on a project? Yes, it is possible. You can bring that partner, but you need to then, of course, provide a certain, not to say justification, but you need to bringing any new partner to the program under the per team collaboration. It means that you are describing the certain added value, why you need this United States partner to collaborate with. So how this organization will support you, and mostly this we need to see either in terms of the expertise they have or in terms of certain infrastructure that you need, etc., etc. So just keep that in mind.
Okay, the last question in the chat is from Efstacio. Is it only one employee for SMEs that can be accepted, or of more?
Esther, I believe you have more expertise on that. I think in our guidelines, as far as I remember, but I don't want to, we would probably need to check it.
Yes.
I'm really sorry that we don't have the straightforward. I think for sure one, maybe up to two, but this needs to be checked.
Yes, I can confirm that we are allowing only one proposal per candidate. And in the case of candidates coming from the same EU organization, up to 2 candidates may submit a proposal.
So we have an answer. Yes.
Okay, then.
Okay, well, because I saw Julia, I see Liliana, she clarified certain. Liliana, then I suggest you contact them, because maybe want only if you are working with them, it's just a matter about the profile. Just contact them that you are interested to participate in the program, and in that sense, if they would provide somehow, they can contact us directly if that's really just a case of the profile. If they would be open for profile of innovators, then maybe you could apply for open ideas. But if not, you can contact them separately and ask, even though they're already in the program, you would propose them to certain collaboration with your innovation, and then you could really hear the answer. But it's just this per team, it needs to be somehow organized on your own. So yeah, but since they're already open for NGI, I think that should be really, that they should be really happy to collaborate with if they're gonna be interested in your project. Okay, so there was a clarification. Yeah, no, the same proposal, no. that's needs to be different, and so it cannot be, because of course otherwise that would mean you are having a bigger chance to be selected. No, there can be up to two participants from the same SME, but it need to be two different proposals. Yes, because in that sense you can up to two members of the same organization can be also funded, but they will be delivering two different results and impact. Otherwise, we would be accused of European Commission to do a double funding, and that's
bear in mind, as we said, that per candidates only one proposal is valid, and as we mentioned during the presentation today, we are supporting individuals. So this means that each candidate have submit their own application with your own profile, background, experience, and so, which of course will differ from the one from your colleague, even if this person is working in the same organization or same entity as you.
Yes. I don't know if there are any more questions. Maybe if you prefer to rise and simply ask us directly, we may have some minutes. Yeah, we were basically good on time, but if there are no clarification needed, just one notification that we always want to make: our call is very open to be gender balanced, so we are very much welcoming as many men as female in our project. So definitely, please apply, and we will be very happy to have you in our program. Then we will be holding a second webinar. If I'm not mistaken, in the beginning or the end of the first week of February, this will be notified on our website and our social channels. So keep track on this. And if you have any other question, also, if you have started already your application, you can also contact us via F6's platform. From mostly, you're gonna be contacting me directly. Here you have all the at the end all the somehow contacts. Yesterday that disappeared. Yeah, now we still have it. So feel free to contact us if you have any additional questions. Meanwhile, and then good luck. If you don't have more questions, I suggest we can close the webinar. So thank you, everyone, and we hope to have you among our selected winners. Thank you. Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Esther, did you stop recording?